wheel spin and spin and spin and spin. All right. Hi, welcome. I'm so excited for this live episode of Pillow Talk with Kate, where we're going to talk about breaking down the relationship norms. And now that Karen got it all set up, we're going to take a breathwork break, because if you've been here before, you know how important breathwork is. And Feather's gonna come in and do some breathwork with y'all. And in the meantime, because I don't know where she goes, she just like runs away. But we're gonna listen to a little music.
I guess I forget that I've got all the answers, and I forget that I've got all I need. I guess I forget that the path isn't easy, and what I seek is already in me. When will I learn that I've got this? When will I learn to trust the process? When will I learn?
Okay. Hey everyone, it's my favorite time, and it's been a busy 2 weeks, is why we haven't been here. Last week we were on a podcast. I was on a podcast last week called the Divine Nobodies podcast, where we talked about erotic blueprints and the paradox of online dating. So I encourage you all to check it out. I'll put that link below in the description after all of this stuff. But now that I'm here, I'm ready to do some breathwork and teach you guys in a little breathwork practice after drinking some homemade rose water. And rose water is very good. There are so many health benefits to it, and it's also very hydrating. And if you use organic roses, which you should always use when making it, it is full of a whole bunch of vitamin B as well. All right. So come to a seated position. Wherever you're comfortable, you can sit with your legs crossed. I'm actually going to cross them the other way. And rooting down with our tailbone pointed down towards the earth, so you're not slouched. Sitting nice and tall, as though someone's pulling like your hair, almost as though someone's pulling your hair, so your head stands up effortlessly. Roll the shoulders up and back. And we're going to do a breath of fire on this one. So in order to do breath of fire, what you do, take a deep inhale, really fill up as much of your belly as you can. And on the exhale, you're going to contract your abs and pull your abs in towards your spine. So you're making tiny little pulses with your belly. So it'll look like so these short little powerful snips of air that are just flying through your nose. And we are going to, the next song that's coming on will be perfect. So we'll start right now. Inhale, roll the shoulders up to the ears. And exhale, let the shoulders melt down the back. You can close the eyes if you'd like. I like to do breath work with my eyes closed. Deep breath in. Really fill up. Hold it. Inhale a little bit more. Inhale a little bit more. And short, powerful snips of air. Go. Don't worry, we won't do this for the whole song because it's a really long song. We're just going to do it for a few minutes. So keep going, busting through that. Breath of Fire is really good because it helps to, one, clear out all the toxins within the body and also helps build heat. Keep going. Smile. Can you pulse your breath faster? Halfway through. Just imagine all that heat building up, literally burning away all of that unwanted energy, clearing out all those toxins, burning up the energy, the unwanted energy from the day. What have you been holding on to that you've just been wanting to release? Let it go. Few more seconds. Deep breath in. Reach your hands up and overhead. Bring the palms to touch. Let's cross the left thumb on top of the right. Deep breath in. Press your fingertips up to the sky. Shoulders roll down the back. Then exhale. Guide your hands to the heart and center. Beautiful. And open the eyes. Exhale. Shake out the arms. Shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. Shake, shake, shake. All right. How do we all feel about it now? Let me know in the comments. And I wanted to just let you guys know how much I miss you. I love leading these little breathwork sessions for you. And I know last week we were on the podcast, and the week before that, I didn't know it at the time. Actually, I did know. My period was the next day, and I just felt so lethargic that if I tried to show up, I would have just been like, what do you want to talk about? I would have been so super freaking cranky. So I opted not to do that to myself. All right. Yeah. I'm going to bring Kate in here, and she'll get started. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. I'm just kidding. Of course I saw you there. All right. Who's excited to talk about breaking down relationship norms? I don't know what my phone's doing. I know I am. Boop, right here. Before we get into that, actually, you know what? let's dive in because it's been some time. All right. So, relationships. What do we really know about relationships? We've grown up in this era, in this culture where we're immersed in a world of do's and don'ts for relationships. Don't text or don't call until 3 days after the first date because you don't want to seem too desperate. Don't crowd your partner. You don't want to come off as too easy. You want to look good, but not too good. And like, are you giving your partner enough time and space alone? Are you talking to your partner about how you feel? Are you telling them the things that you should be telling them? Or oh, you have feelings for someone else? Like, don't tell your partner. Or what do you mean you want to explore a different type of relationship? Well, surely you can't tell your partner that. And those are all the things we hear. Or you hear common love triangles, where you have a couple that's already started, and then maybe the girl sees somebody else that she likes, and then that person like can pick up on the chemistry because we're all energy, and thoughts are energy, y'all. So when you have someone that's like, oh, I kind of like so-and-so is going to be like, hey, I feel you, so-and-so, and I like you too. And then it's going to start this weird triangle. And then the other person's going to be like, dude, something's off. Like, I know she's not like with me the same way. And we grew up watching TV shows like that, movies, like rom-coms, all have that kind of stuff in them. And in a way, we're almost conditioned, we are conditioned to think that way and to work that way. So when we encounter situations like that, it's almost like it's supposed to happen. And we're like, oh yeah, of course it's supposed to happen. And we go along with it. So the first rule, I wrote these down because there's so many of, I'm just kidding, there's not so many. But I wrote them down because they're so important. The first rule of breaking down relationship norms is forget everything you know about relationships. Forget it. What you know about relationships, the do's and don'ts, crumble it up, throw it out, throw it down the shredder, throw it down the toilet. I don't care. Get rid of it. Because it holds no place in your world or in your mind, for that matter. Because you cannot take one list, one set of boundaries for one relationship and apply them across all boundaries. Why? Because each relationship is going to be unique. And why is that? Oh, because every single human being on Earth is unique. No two humans are the exact same. Yes, they may have a lot of similarities and a lot of common interests and a lot of traits and behaviors and thoughts in common, but they are not, in fact, the exact same person. Every person is like a snowflake. Every snowflake has a completely unique, authentic design to itself, just like each person. Every person is authentic, unique to themselves. So when you have two unique, authentic people that get together and form one relationship, that relationship is going to be unique and specific to those people. So you cannot take that relationship from Jane and Joe, I know, very creative names I just came up with, and apply it to Jack and Susie. Another set of really creative names I just came up with. I know, I'm on a roll today. Anyway, that relationship from the two J's Jane and Joe will not be the same relationship norm for Susie and Jack. And it goes across the board from all relationships, right? So not just romantic relationships, but like the relationship you have with your parents is going to be different than the relationship I have with my parents. The relationship you have with your siblings, if you have siblings, is going to be different than the relationship I have with my siblings. I have 2 siblings, and the relationship I have with both of them completely different from each other. Same with my parents. Like my parents and my dad and I have one type of relationship. My mom and I have another type of relationship. So that's just how it goes. And I wouldn't try to take the same rules that I have for the relationship I hold with my dad and try to apply them to the relationship I have with my mom. It just wouldn't work out. Therefore, that's why you need to just crumple up everything that you've been taught about relationships or that you've read or seen on TV. Like, stop reading Cosmo. It's not doing you any favors. It's literally just putting more shit in your mind. Also, you're reading Cosmo because you're trying to attract a guy. Guess who's writing Cosmo? Women, not guys. Anywho's, the second rule for breaking down relationship norms is there are no set of rules for relationships, which I already talked on a little bit. And that's it. Boom. We're done. All right, I'm going to explain that a little bit more. It's weird to sit this close to the screen. All right, backing it up. Yes. So there are no rules to relationships, and I don't mean that the relationship you're in has no rules. Because first of all, we shouldn't call them rules. We should call them boundaries. And it's up to the individuals within the relationship to establish those boundaries, to establish and agree upon those boundaries. So the only people that should be worried about the specific relationship is the relationship within 2 people or a group of people, if you want to do it that way. That's going to be a topic for another Pillow Talk with Kate. Dude, I can't tell you how many times I've been approached to be in love triangle situations. It's amazing that I didn't start. Actually, I kind of did start open relationship dating unknowingly in 2012. I've been doing it ever since. On and off ever since. Anyway, open relationships, that's going to be another topic for Pillow Talk with Kate because that will make this one very long. And I am going to stick to it and make sure it's under 30 minutes. Okay, I've got 12 minutes to go. Okay. Relationships. So there are no rules in relationships. There are boundaries. And the 2 people for today's conversation is going to be 2 people to make it easier. 2 people within those relationships need to agree on those boundaries and respect those boundaries. Because boundaries only work if you fucking respect them. Because if you say you have boundaries and then neither party in the relationship upholds them, it's going to crumble. It's going to crumble and fall down, and you're going to see all this dust at your feet, and you're going to be crying because now you have this huge mess and your heart's broken. That's what all the dust is. Your heart literally broke, cracked, fell on the floor, and now you have to pick it up and clean up all the pieces. And it's fine powder, so how are you going to sweep it up and tape it? Yeah, it's going to take a very long time. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. So do yourself a favor when you start a relationship, and even when you start dating somebody, be up front. Say, this is what I'm looking for in this relationship. Using an example from my life, I had someone who we just met to hang out. We actually weren't on a date. We were just two people meeting, hanging out, getting to know each other. I was thinking this was going to become like a business sponsorship for me in my yoga work that I do. And this other person was just, new to LA and wanted to meet people. And like, if that was something that came from it, Anywho's, when we were hanging out, we ended up like really jiving and hitting it off and getting together, hitting it off and everything. Everything. And we ended up so we hit it off really well. And then we're like, okay, let's go. I'm like, so we hit it off really well. And then that person ended up coming to where I was the next night because he really wanted to talk to me. And we had a nice dinner. And then he just took my hands and laid it out for me. He was like, look, I just got out of this really long, like this really, really significant relationship in my life. And he now had an ex-wife. Our relationships both ended around the same time. And I was just like, okay, that I'm also getting out of the longest relationship I've had in my life too. And he was like, I don't want to be in another relationship right now. He was like, but that said, I really, really do like you and I enjoy spending time with you and I want to take you out on dates. But at the same time, something that you need to know about me is that I still very much, like, my ex is always going to be in my life. She's my ex-wife and I'm still like grieving, getting over that process. And the other day, I asked her to run away to a foreign country with me, and I had every intention of following through on it and meaning it if she said yes. And he was like, so that's just something that you need to be aware of. And like, I want to say that I wouldn't do that, but I already did it once, and so maybe I would offer it again. And boom, like that's a lot of information to take in, but he was honest and upfront, and I knew exactly what the situation was if I wanted to get into it or not. And that's what you owe every single person that you really truly care about. You owe them the God's honest truth about yourself and your current situation. Because if you don't, or tell them, like, you might not think that you need to tell them. Did he need to tell me that he was going to run away potentially with his ex or that he made that offer? No. But it was helpful for me to know, because then I could gauge where he was coming from into this relationship that the two of us were trying to figure out if we could wanted to establish, and how it would work. And like, in a sense, yes. So I was going to go to where I felt about that, but I was like, that's actually not really necessary to my point. And so with that, if you try to sweep what you're emotionally going through under the rug or pretend that it's not there when you're embarking on a new relationship, it's just going to circle back and jump on top of you in a different way. And it's going to be very abrasive, and it's going to take your partner, your counterpart in that relationship, by surprise, and they're going to be the ones getting hurt by it. Now, I will say, the relationship with the person I was talking about, we no longer talk anymore. But like we embarked on a relationship for us. We agreed to the parameters. It was going to be an open relationship. Both of us were free to sleep with other people. And something that we agreed to is that when we did sleep with other people, we didn't necessarily have to tell the other person, but we most likely would. But we needed to vet. We needed to use safety, like we needed to use protection when we were sleeping with other people, unless we screened them and we knew for a fact that they were 100% clean, no STDs, no STIs. And whenever we had unprotected sex, that's when we needed to communicate it to each other. My phone is going off. And that's when we needed to communicate it to each other. That worked for a really long time, and there's a whole other side reason why that relationship didn't work out. But setting up boundaries into relationships, super freaking crucial. Always be clear on your intentions, even when it's just dating, or even if it's just sex. Like, I've done that. Every relationship I've had that has ever just been friends with benefits, it's been clear friends with benefits from the beginning. And friends with benefit relationships, they will always find a way to naturally fizzle out if you're really clear about it. And don't say you want friends with benefits or that you're okay being someone's friends with benefits if you genuinely like them much more than a friend and you're hoping that the friends with benefit relationship will lead into a real relationship. Because that's a recipe for more heartbreak, and then you're just going to be back sweeping your heart off the floor. And we don't want that. And next thing is, so you're clear about your boundaries, you get your boundaries established, you're clear about your intentions. Be authentic. Be who you are. Stop worrying about what the right thing to say is. Stop worrying about the right thing to wear on a date. Stop worrying about the right makeup to wear. Stop worrying about the perfect perfume. Guys, stop worrying about the perfect suave thing to say. Stop worrying about how you need to like hold yourself. Because if it is a relationship that is meant to happen, it will unfold in its natural, organic way. Stop trying to force relationships. That is how you can break gender norms. Stop forcing them. Stop thinking in this mindset of the perfect thing to say, the perfect thing to wear, the perfect thing to do. Because what's perfect for your person, your divine partner that you will one day find, is your organic self, is your natural response to the situation, is your natural thought, is your natural joke. Quit trying to plan it. Quit trying to script your relationship, because that is what society, that's what the media has gotten us to believe, is that there's a certain script that belongs in relationships. Whether it's a friend relationships, that's the friend script, or a romantic relationship, that's the romance relationship, the romance script, or a familiar relationship, that's the family script, or like the sibling, that's the sister script, the brother script, and like there is no script. Life is not scripted. Scripted reality is scripted, and reality is not scripted. Reality is literally unfolding by being present in the present moment. So be present with the people that you're with. Be present and be honest. If you have ghosts or shadows in your closet, I'm pointing this way because I'm imagining this big, dark, like scary closet behind me with all my shadows in it. If you have a shadow from any of your relationships that you're afraid is going to come into this relationship, fucking tell them. The last relationship I was in, I flat out told the guy, I was like, dude, I've cheated twice. I was like, I've had 2 relationships where I've cheated on them. And I was like, in one relationship, I cheated multiple times. Like, I had 2 different people that I was cheating on in one relationship. Or cheating with. And, own that. Like, did that happen again? No. Has it happened again to me since then? Since the last time I cheated? No, it hasn't. Because I fucking saw that dark shit in me, and I sat with it for a very long time, and learned what I needed to learn from that experience, and now it is part of my past. And I felt that it was necessary while I was getting over that hurdle in my mind of the fact that I did that I needed to tell the person I was with. And I was like, I'm not saying that's going to happen now, but I want you to know it was part of my past, and I'm upset that I did that. And I at the time, I was mad at myself for it, and I let them know those things. And they held space for me very well and helped me look at it from a different angle and learn a little bit more about that situation and time in my life. Even though that person did not know them. I did not know them when I was doing that in my life. But sometimes you just need to have those conversations with the people that you're going to be super freaking intimate with, and they'll give you some insight and some perspective. All right. Boom. That's it. That's a wrap for how to break down relationship norms. And I know Feather likes to come in here and do breath work, but we're gonna do it together. All right, we're gonna do breath. We're gonna do the breath of fire breath, but we're gonna do the ego eradicator, which I think we've actually done in an earlier episode of Pillow Talk. The ego eradicator is where all of the norms, what the media has told us, it's our relationship scripts, that's where it's living. It's living in our ego. So we're going to do the ego eradicator to end on, to clear it out. And we will start it with a different song that I want to use. Ooh, I know what song we're going to do. Where'd it go? Different playlist. Got it. All right. So now that I have the song ready to go, I'm going to sit in a comfortable position. You can cross your legs. For my left knee is really bothering me, so I'm just going to tuck that leg behind me, but you can sit cross-legged, or you can sit in hero's pose. Fuck it. I'm going to sit in hero's pose and do this. So hero's pose, you're kneeling and you're sitting. I know I have shorts on. It doesn't look like it, but I do. You're kneeling on your shins, and then you're gonna sit back on your calves, or you can take a pillow and place it on top of your heels and sit on the pillow. And feet can be flat, or you can tuck your toes if you want to work on the arches. All right. Tailbone points down to the earth. And we are going to take a deep breath in. Roll the shoulders up towards the ears, and exhale, take them down. Reach the hands out to the sides on either side. Make thumbs up. Yeah, thumbs up, because we know how to do relationships like a boss bitch. Thumbs up. Deep breath in. Hold it. Inhale a little bit more. Hold it. Inhale. Suck in as much air as you can. Really expand the rib cage. Push that belly out to the max. And exhale. Start those powerful sniffs of air now. So we're just going to do this for a few moments. Keep going. And I will put the songs that we used in the descriptions of this live. Smile, keep going, bust through it, burn through those relationships. Halfway there. Smile. Deep breath in. Bring the arms, the palms to touch at the top of the head. Look up at your thumbs. Inhale, press your fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, pull the tips of the shoulder blades down to the earth. Deep breath in, reach out those fingers up. And exhale, bring the thumbs to the center of your chest to touch the heart. We're going to take a deep breath in, and then we're going to do lion's breath. We're going to do lion's breath by closing our eyes and sticking our tongue out on the exhale. Deep breath in. And close the eyes. Exhale, stick out the tongue. All right, one more time. Deep breath in. Inhale as much as you can. Close the eyes. You can squint them, like really keep them shut. Inhale, more air. And exhale, stick that tongue out. Shake it out. Open the eyes. Shake, 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 shake it out. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Pillow Talk with Kate, hosted by yours truly, Kathryn Eipl. And I'm so honored and grateful that you've taken time to watch this video. Please drop your comments below. Like this video if you jive with it. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss one of my videos. And if you've made it this far into watching, let me know if you like the live format better, or I'm like half dark. I'm like, ooh, dark and light. Ooh. Ooh, I'm in the shadows over here. No light over here. Let me know if you like the live format better or the edited format. As I'm feeling like I need to go back to not doing these live. The lives just aren't jiving with me, and they actually create more work in an aspect, in a way. So let me know what you think. And if you really enjoyed this episode about breaking the norms of relationships and you have a whole bunch more questions, or you feel like this only scratched the surface and you feel like you have a whole lot more personal work that you need and want to do, I'm going to put a link into my Master of the Minds course. Check it out, and if you like everything that's on that page, you can schedule a call with me right then and there on that same page, and we'll connect for a chance to either get you into the mastermind program, or if that program doesn't jive with you, I do work with people one-on-one. The mastermind, the Master of Minds course, I will say, is only for females, but I do work one-on-one with both females and males. So check it out. That'll give you an idea of who I am. It's got a nice bio of myself, and it also outlines the work that I do pretty well. And it will just take you to my whole website, so you can always cruise around there. And yeah, I will see you back here, same time, same place, for another Pillow Talk with Kate, where, who knows, I could get raunchy, I could get a little, yeah, you know what, I'm probably gonna get raunchy. I usually do. I usually get raw.